Welcome to our weekly new global media talk show. Today is February 25th, 2024. Today, we're going to be discussing two topics. One would be the clash between NATO Alliance, a fraction from the former APRC, and the PIU. So the NATO Alliance clash with the Police Intervention Unit. We're going to discuss in depth with that. And then the second part of the discussion will be the impact of President Barrow's book on new generation in terms of inspiring them. The public has, different opinions. So we will have our guest here, Ebriman Nyang, admin one, secretary, admin secretary one for GDC. He is a knowledgeable person in this area, and of course, a subject matter expert in this political space. So we welcome you, Ebriman Nyang. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Ebriman, can you hear me?
Thank you so much, Mr. Sawaneh. I'm getting you loud and clear.
Excellent. Your background is a little dark, but that's okay.
I'm getting you loud and clear.
Yeah. No, I'm saying your background is a little dark, but that's okay. If there's no light, enough light, that's fine. Yeah, it's better now. It's better now. But yeah, it's better.
Yes. A minute.
Yeah.
My apology on it.
That's okay. I should have told you earlier. So yeah.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's good. Okay now. So let's jump right into
fine.
Yeah, it's good. Let's jump right into it. Our discussion. We're gonna have our co-host, Famara and Madam M'boge, join us later. Now Sam is on vacation, so we will miss you, Sam. So go right ahead. What is the issue? What went wrong, and why was the crash between the NATO Alliance, a fraction of former APRC, with the Police Intervention Unit? Can you go in depth? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Sawaneh, for having me in this platform, and to everybody that is joining this Zoom live conversation. It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you to everybody. The clash that happened between the NATO Alliance and the police, it is an unfortunate clash. We all, or most of us, heard about the issues or the separation between the APRC, like how they call it the Famara APRC and the NGM APRC. But I believe there is only one APRC as far as it is concerned. This is not the first time such is happening, because looking way back, there was also similar problem with the NCP, that is National Convention Party, whereby they even had two Congress. But at the end of the day, IEC got involved, and there was a dialogue between these two parties. So at the end of the day, if we are also facing similar issue, I believe simply it doesn't tell well, because what we believe is, as far as you are a member of the party, the agenda should be one, and the direction should be one. But now this is what caused the fraction. From what we are privy, it has to do with the endorsement of President Barrow, that's His Excellency, the President of the Gambia, whereby majority of APRC militants did not agree to that, including chairman, that was the former President of the Gambia, that is President Jammeh. So from onwards, we have seen the NATO Alliance being very robust when it comes to pursuing or fighting for what they believe in, that is to go against everything that has to do with the NPP. So the fundraising, basically it was for them so that they will be able to carry out their political activities. Because looking at both parties, you can see that even at the last elections, that is the parliamentary elections, you can see the difference when it comes to the vote, especially within Foni, where the NATO Alliance secured all the 5 seats, where the NPP contested, where other political parties also contested. So, and I believe that they are at a position whereby financing all of their political activities, maybe from few individuals, cannot continue, which goes across all parties, because we have seen the NPP being the ruling party engaging in fundraising. So for the No to Alliance, my major issue is simply because the permit that was given to them, the permit was given to them under an individual name. That is one. And the fundraising was housed in a hall. That's two. And secondly, my main issue is I don't know simply what were the grounds that the police stand on in order to disrupt their fundraising. Because I heard the police said that their permit was revoked. But I think our public law order also should come in. Because at the end of the day, you cannot give me a permit when I made all the necessary investment towards that program. At the end of the day, at the 11th hour, you just revoke my permit. And what I already spent on the ground, that means that one I have already lost because I can no more repay. Because to have a foundation, you need to have a PA system. And you need to pay the DJ who is going to MC that program. You need to, make so many investments in terms of refreshment. Your ticketing have already been printed out, your invitations, with all the money that you have already spent. They just cannot sit at their own convenient time just to come from nowhere at the 11th hour and want to revoke a permit when you already make the necessary expenditure. We believe that should have never happened because it does not tell well in our democracy. And at the end of the day, if possible, maybe they have seen it, that it is no to early. But what we can say, they are housed in a hall. And even when you go to the Public Order Act, it's the same thing. Because housing in a hall doesn't mean that one even needs a permit in order to carry out your activities. It does not need it. So for them, they already get a permit. Coming there to disrupt their program, that's why many link to it as a political issue. Because we all know that there is no cordial relationship between the two parties. And the other parties is with the government. For them, they are still now standing on their belief. That is that they will never endorse President Barrow. So that's why parties, concerned individuals, all of them came, with their concerns over the police behavior. Because I even heard that some were injured. On what basis? On what basis? I believe we should try and look through or look again as a country in our Public Order Act, so that at least, everybody can be protected, not necessarily those that are only with the government, because they were opposition before becoming the government. So we expect also from the opposition to take over from Barrow. So if at all similar things is happening, I believe what we fought for in 2016 is still now at play. So that's why it is a very regrettable action, and we wish that it was something that belongs to the past, but not that we should currently be confronting it as a country. But on the No to Alliance side too, they also share their concern, but coming from the party that always respect the rule of law, one that always preach about peace. This is our conversation with the both parties. That is very important because both camps, they are Gambians. And at the end of the day, we are the ones to develop this country. We are the ones to discuss about this country, since we are just from a national dialogue, which we believe play a very key role in making sure that at least the political tense will be used, whereby everybody will collectively join hands in order to develop this country. But what's happened is a very regrettable action on the side of the police, and I believe it should have been the least to happen because, women were there, and all of them are Gambians. Even the PIU, they are also Gambians. And it is their very own sisters and brothers and mothers and aunties who were on that program. So even if you are given the command to act on them, I believe it should have never been executed because it was not the right decision. Looking at everything that transpired within the two parties, and at the end of the day, reacting towards that, with the No to Alliance, when even their permit was not applied under the name of No to Alliance, because it's not a registered group, as far as I am concerned. So, simply, I think there is nobody that commend the police for such actions, and it should have been the least.
So Good points there. So you mentioned something right here saying that No to Alliance is not a registered group. Is that what I heard?
Yeah. Hmm. Yes, yes. As far as to my knowledge, being a very active politician, there is nowhere that I had that the group is being registered. Not something that I read from them, not something that I also heard from them. So I believe it is not a registered group politically.
It is not a registered group. Okay. All right. So that's good. So if it's not a registered group, so they're just an organization that is just out there, um, you know, making noise. What is the purpose? Are they not contesting any
No, no,
election?
no. It's at their own level. No, you know when you go to electoral law, one can stand as independent, even very formidable group, and they have their agenda. They contested on the independent ticket in the last parliamentary election, in the last local government election. So they are a very organized group that believes that politically they have an agenda. And even though if they are not registered like political parties, but the constitution gives them the right to stand as an independent. And I know that's what they are working towards by raising funds in order to support, if at all, that they want to present a candidate in 2026 election. Because from the few ones, they made it very clear that they will be contesting in 2026 presidential election. So they are working towards that election. That's why I know this fundraising was organized, including other activities, so that at least they will meet their budget in order to prepare financially for the 2026 election. And with other activities, because before the
So,
elections, they should have an office to maintain and other
right.
activities. Yes.
So why do you think the police intervened? Is it that they were saying stuff or they were doing certain things? Because the police just cannot intervene at a regular meeting or fundraising without an evidence to disperse that meeting. They must have they must have evidence that something was going wrong. So what was the issue? Why did the police
Yes.
intervene?
Yes. From the information that I was preview at, that the permit was revoked. And even when you go to those that applied the permit, they said they were never informed about it.
The
So
permit
this
was
is what
revoked
some
before the meeting.
was revoked. Was revoked.
Before
But
the
they
meeting.
said if you revoke the permit, there was at least an individual who applied for that permit. Engage them, give them reason why it is revoked. Then from there, at least if they fail to act by it, you will have the ground to do that. But imagine those that they are hot, they never knew about the permit was revoked, because I know it is a group, but I also believe that it is a very organized group, because we have member of
But why
parliament
was the
in that group.
permit?
And I know
Why was the permit revoked?
that, yes, the permit revoked, even for them, they cannot give you any genuine reason. That is for the organization. They cannot give you any
And
genuine
they
reason
didn't know the
that based
permit
on A,
was
B, or C,
revoked. They
that's
didn't know
why
the
the permit
permit
was.
was revoked. They couldn't. Nobody knows what
Yes,
they were not told.
yes, they were not informed. They were not informed. There was no communication, according to what I was told. There was no communication between the applicants of the permit and the police. And if a permit should be revoked, anytime you go and apply for a
So
permit,
this is
your
abuse.
details are always there.
This is an abuse of power by the police.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, and that's how most of them have seen it. And to be frank, what happened? Nobody's okay with that, because for people like us, there was a time we applied for a permit. Then when they want to, the permit got delayed. From there, we went and ended them, and they were the one that called us. And we talked to them. At the end of the day, we secured our permit and we move on. So, but for this one, this is the information that we are getting from the No to Alliance camp. Because if the permit was revoked, I know, having very good National Assembly members, I know they will at least initiate a dialogue to be given genuine reason why it is revoked. Because the permit cannot be revoked and they will go ahead with it. They respect the law of this
So
country.
that's what I'm
The same
saying. I
goes to
mean, this
other
was
political parties.
this means that this was an abuse of power to stop something that you don't like going on, even though like they have the authority to conduct that fundraising.
Exactly, exactly. That must be agreed. I must agree with that. Yeah, because
So
that's how it is
this
seen and
injustice
that's how
and
it should
this
be seen.
abuse of power is still happening in the Gambia.
For this one, is very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It should have been the last.
One of my question is
because
is this kind of thing happening still in the Gambia?
yes, we know to Alliance it's happening. It's a confirmed one.
I understand that one, but is this still happening? That means it has been happening more than once?
No. It's happening. Maybe not to certain level, because even when we are going for the 2021 presidential election, we have seen our supporters, they've been harassed, intimidated, they have been abused. And we reported this matter to the IEC, and nothing has come out of it. I wrote on behalf of the party to the IGP office. There was no action that happened. We have seen the president threatening our party leader in the last presidential election that if Yahya Jammeh happens to speak in our meeting, he is going to arrest everyone that is there. So, these are similar issues. So we believe that it is not to that extent like how it was before.
In other words, they pick and choose which events to stop or which events to exercise power or to suppress, people's ability to conduct their political functions.
Yes, indeed. Because with this case, it's like that. Because APRC, the one with Fabakari, they had their own fundraising. That was done at Laos. So they were there, no one disrupted them. They had their own program and they went ahead with it. Other parties, UDP had theirs, and they went ahead with it, and it was a very good one. The same goes to other political parties. So if it does not happen to the other political parties, why should it happen to No to Alliance? Especially a permit that was not applied under the No to Alliance name, but was applied under an individual name. So basically, we will conclude that it was a pick and choose, whereby some programs have to be suppressed to stop others. We need to let it go because UDP went ahead with their APRC the same, the NPP the same. We have other political parties also the same. Then why this one?
Okay. Now, do you think there is reasoning behind, political reason behind this that is not been, brought out to the public attention? Yeah, somebody's benefiting from having to stop this meeting or this fundraising.
Basically, I cannot confirm that because there is no such statement that comes from either maybe from the other APRC or any individual that I had that their meeting will be stopped. So, but basically, what we can confirm and what we can correctly say is the action that the police did. But if there is any political agenda, maybe, but I cannot confirm it to you. But the actions of the police.
But were they what do you say to the rumors that they're probably using a sign that belongs to APRC at the meeting? Because there are speculation on that.
Yes. At one point also, you can see, for them, they said they are still APRC. that is the note to have. They said they are still APRC. They are member of the APRC. So the only thing that the only difference is
let me put it this way: if they say they are still APRC, if you look at it, they are not incorrect. That could still be a true statement because they did not resign from APRC or they still, were there. If there's a fraction, I mean, there's a separation. I mean, whether you call it or not, somebody went from some place to another. There is a portion that went with Barrow. I mean, did they go with Barrow's camp, or did they collaborate with
Yes.
Barrow, or do they make an alliance with Barrow's party, NPP? So this is where these other people who are not with that idea, they are reluctant and they say that we are not to alliance. The name is in fact explains itself. It says no to alliance with NPP.
Yes.
We are part
Yes.
of
Looking at the name.
So name to we said we are no to alliance. You guys said you are okay with alliance. So they are the same party still.
Yes. Yeah, this is my point.
So
that one said yes to alliance.
Right.
That one. Yes to alliance.
Yeah, yes to alliance, no to alliance, from the same house.
And no to alliance.
So now the interesting thing here is that those with yes to alliance have the government backing.
They
have the luxury to to kind of maneuver or manipulate power whenever they can, because they are yes to alliance to the ruling party. That's the correct statement.
That's the fact.
Okay.
That's the fact.
And they have positions
because
some of their members have positions in the government.
Yes, that's the fact, because most of them, when you hear what they have to say, this is their justification. That these people, they only got the documents of the party, and they were only able to maintain the leadership of the party because they endorsed the ruling party. That is their justification.
Exactly.
But also at the same time, I believe we have the courts. They have the right to go ahead with it. We have seen the president going to court, and he lost his case.
What was? Can you explain that? Maybe our viewers don't know about that. How did he lose that case, and what was the case about?
Yes, that was about the nominated member, Yakuba Jete, on the UDP ticket. It was the president that nominated him, but the president was not okay with her submission at the National Assembly. Later on, the president made it very clear, to remove him as a nominated member. So the case went to court. And at court, the president lost the case. Yakumba was compensated, and she continued with her job.
No, but that has nothing to do with APRC though. That is a UDP.
No. The reason of bringing this is that the AP, that is, let them have faith in the court if they have the necessary evidence to proceed with it. Because at the end of the day, we are in a democratic country.
But in this case,
they are not okay with what is happening.
In this case, it's gonna be really hard. That the party should, in this case, it's gonna be really hard because these are one party. One decided to go for alliance, the other one decided not to go for alliance. So what are they gonna go and take to court? What?
It's gonna be?
These are one parties. One group decided under the leadership of Fabakary Tombong decided to go with the ruling party and make an alliance, correct? Can you hear me? Are you with me or no?
Hello?
Yeah. What I'm saying basically is that, hello? Hello, Ebriman. Yeah, I think he's in internet connection. So what we were saying, guys, before he comes back in, is that so no to alliance is these two groups, no to alliance, and then the APRC, that's with President Barrow, they are from the same camp. So one decided to go for the alliance, the other ones decided not to. So what I was trying to ask him is that he said they should go to court. Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah.
What I was trying to ask you is that you said that they should go to court. I said go to court for
No, Why I said this, I am not part of them.
Mm.
I am not part of them, but we all belong to the same political landscape, which all of us meet. And at one point, we were with them, and most of them believe that they have the evidence
What do you
why.
mean at one point you are with them? You are also in alliance with them, or you are part of APRC?
No, no, no. I am part of GDC. It was the No to Alliance that endorsed our candidate, that is Mama candidate in the last presidential election. So, but what happened? Why I said this? Because for them, they are convinced that they have the necessary evidence to take back the party. I am not one of them. I don't know their evidence, but this is what they always say. So, if at all it gets to that level, the only advice for them is let them move ahead with the court. Because I am not with them, I don't know the evidence that they have.
But
I have a party
see,
that I am part of, that I'm working
the
towards
problem here is that
every day.
is problem here is
Mm,
that you cannot take me to
mm,
court if I'm in the
mm,
leadership, right, of a
mm,
party, and
mm,
we
mm,
decided to have a disagreement. I have the documents, and I said
mm,
my people who agrees with me are with the president or with the alliance, and
mm,
then you guys said you
mm,
want with the alliance. So you gonna take the documents from me, and we are from the same party. Why would I give you the documents?
mm.
Because I have them already.
Yes,
So what court
yes.
is
I,
gonna make that document taken away from me? And
no,
we all have the
yes,
same, mandate in that party, but we had a disagreement.
yes.
So tell me that,
You,
like what will make you correct
yes.
make me want
Why?
to give you the documents? Is just
Mm,
because what I do go for the alliance? Is that wrong?
mm,
That's why
mm.
I should give you
Yes,
the documents? Because
yes. What I'm saying
it
here.
didn't say that, it didn't say APRC, it didn't say these people they are out of APRC and went to MPP. It says alliance.
Mm,
You can align with
yes,
anybody you want in this planet.
yes.
You
You
can
mentioned about
your
the
party
document, right?
GDP can align with UDP if you guys want, and nobody's business is
Yes,
there, and you can do whatever you want.
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. But what I'm saying here, they always complain about the document that Fabakari has. They said it was not done on the right way. Their Congress was not done in the right way. They have their own complaints, which they believe to them it is very genuine. It is a case which I am not privy with,
Well,
unless.
again,
Mm,
that
yeah.
one you and I can't do anything about that
Mm.
because that's an inner thing.
Yes,
Okay, they
yes,
can
yes.
complain
But
about
what?
this,
Yes,
but to you, as we analyze you,
uh-huh.
if you are in their
Yes,
position, those who have the document and they are in leadership, and they have
yes.
this agreement, and this one group
Mm,
said we're going with it, the other one said we go with it. Do you think you would
mm,
go and say, "Oh, we're going with the alliance"? So here is the document. That
mm.
means you're telling them that we are not part of APRC anymore, unless and until Fabakari and them
Yes,
then they can hand over the document.
yes.
And when I hear Yaya Jame, sorry for him in Equatorial
Mm,
Guinea, not even
mm,
worried about how he's even gonna, come out of all
mm,
this mess, talking about, oh, they have to return the
mm,
documents because if they don't return it, we're not coming
mm.
together. I mean,
Yes.
instead of
Mm,
working how you can come together, bring your party people from the alliance.
mm,
You are talking about bringing the document.
mm,
Work on getting the two
mm,
parties,
mm,
the one with alliance, the one without the
mm,
alliance together. Then worry about getting the documents because nobody's gonna
mm,
give
mm,
you the documents
mm,
because they are not out of APRC. So this is a temporal thing,
mm,
according to
mm,
what is out there. It's a temporal alliance
mhm.
with MPP. APRC didn't die.
Yes. Mm,
So is that and
mm.
is that are you in agreement with that?
Indeed, their question is how the document, how for them, their argument is how the document was secured, things was in right at their Congress, whereby leadership is always selected for those that will be responsible for the affairs of the party. They also have other issues. But, as far as I am not part of them, and what they do said, if at all it is very genuine to them, and they believe that it is a case that they can build out of it. That is at their own
Let me
level,
let me
because
let
I
me
don't
tell,
know
yeah.
what.
Let me tell you,
No. Just allow me.
going to court.
Yes. Just allow me. Yes.
Is to get those documents. I'm not in a judiciary system in the Gambia, but they will find it very hard to get those papers.
No. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know what they are having. To be frank, I don't know what are their evidence. But maybe what they have, maybe for them it's sufficient. I am not in a position to say they don't have no case.
Yeah. No, I hear their
because
leader,
I don't know
who is still remotely the leader of them, the
notables. Yes, that's
who is over there talking, saying that, you know, here and there. But I you know, as a former president, I think sometimes he just want to show his political, I mean, his leadership muscle over the party or over the country by saying such things. You don't just talk and say those things, because everything has a law, even common sense. The law is supposed to be common sense, right? If you have a fraction and then the camp divided, the camp that is in leadership at that time has the custody of the document. Wherever they go, as long as they are not out of that party, if they declare that they resign, then they hand over. The law says you hand over. I think that's in their constitution. But they haven't decided. And the Alliance, they still call themselves, you know, we are APRC. Fabakary and them call themselves they are APRC. And they take the banner and then they wear the clothes, even at the MPP. So that technically tell you that APRC is aligned. So the NATO alliance say, we are not going with you. They have the right to do that too. But they're gonna do that without a document. They can also get representation if they want.
It's easy. It's easy. As of now, with what we have already seen, it is a fact that the APRC is with Fabakary Kambangaba. That's a fact. Because even the last election, APRC, that is those that contested under Fabakary leadership, they contested under the APRC ticket. You have Ebriman Nyang in Kundum. You have Star in Joswang. You also have other people. So for them who contested on the No to Alliance, they contested on the independent ticket.
Exactly.
But they are still now resisting that they are APRC and they have evidence about A, B, and C.
Nobody said that they are not. Nobody said they are not APRC. They are.
Exactly.
And then they should understand that the APRC, Fabakary and them also, they are APRC. So what they have done, what has happened is temporarily they have different agendas and they different conflicting agendas, and each one is pursuing their agenda. One is saying that we are not part of the alliance. We don't want to work with Barrow. This one is saying we want to work with Barrow. So now I think what they need to do is to bring their house together, which they say that they're doing, which is to come together and perhaps, you know, instead of being in alliance with Barrow, those with alliance, they can return back to the party and then continue with their party. I think that's the language that they're supposed to be talking. Instead of that one in Equatorial Guinea is saying one thing, and Fabakary and the other place is saying another thing, and their party is still, you know, causing, you know, like these kind of you know, problems. So my point here is the police intervention unit. I think they don't have sufficient evidence, or at least to what we know, to stop their the NATO alliance, who has the right to do that meeting. They shouldn't interrupt that meeting and then cause problems that could lead to many, you know, many other issues like injuries and all that. So that is an abuse of power from a police department. And this is why I'm asking, has this been happening? If this has been happening, then I think, you know, like you know, community groups and other people should protest this. They should come out and then stand against police brutality. Because anytime somebody has a permit, even if they don't have a permit, people have the right, as long as they are not blocking traffic, to exercise their constitutional right to demonstrate, to protest.
This was sheltered in a hall. It was sheltered in a place that they hired already. So even to my knowledge,
So what is the point?
even without
what is the point of
use of,
interrupting and then causing all that
they
mayhem?
have the right to go ahead with it. How many shows are happening? Yes. How many shows are happening every day in this country, in a hall? Huh? None of them is applying for a permit. So basically, I don't see any ground on which the police can justify.
But this was an abuse of power, and then I think Gambian people need to speak up.
Yeah, indeed. No, indeed.
And then not only, I had UDP put a statement, and then of course,
yes,
Bakari and his people went back. They said the UDP don't have that, their leader don't have the mandate to talk about that and all of that, which is again, it shows how immature the Gambian political system is, because any group, your group, Mama Kande, and everybody, they have the right to speak against that injustice that happened to this group for exercising their constitutional right. So that's why we are having this show here today, so that wherever we see injustice, we speak to the power. We shouldn't be afraid. Your team, not only UDP leadership, should say something about this injustice. Your party too. You have the obligation. You should go and put a press release, and your leader should speak against this kind of injustice. No group should be, banned or stopped that has the constitutional right, especially permit to exercise, because somebody don't like what they're doing. It's against the law, it's inhumane, it's injustice, and you guys should come out and talk against that under the leadership of Honorable Mama Kande. I hope you're gonna post that in your party. Agenda. I hope you're gonna post that agenda in your party to speak against those.
Indeed. We are not speaking for no to Alliance, but we are speaking to make sure that at this we will have a fair and balanced political landscape for every either organizations or political parties. Because at the end of the day, what happens to them can happen to us. So that's why it's always good to speak, not necessarily when it only affects you, but when it affects anybody. You all know the relationship between the UDP and especially to Alliance or APRC. It has always been a very rough relationship, but it's never wrong to speak what is right. And that's exactly what we did, what they did.
So I hope the leadership of these parties are watching, and they know that people are watching. The Gambia is a small country. We are all related, and we all care for one another. So when injustice is inflicted on one, it is inflicted on everyone. I'm not affiliated with Alliance. I don't even know who is the leadership there. But when I saw the pictures on Facebook, and then tear gases and all of those things, and even one of the National Assembly member was affected by the tear gas, and he said he was bringing the issue to the National Assembly. Those things should not have been happening. Why are you tear gassing people? For what reason?
No. That was very embarrassing. It was a very embarrassing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This PIU,
because,
their name is,
they
are very incompetent.
Yes, in Gambia.
This PIU, police intervention, they are very incompetent. They don't fight the right crimes. People are stealing in the country. People are stabbing people in the country. People are killing people in the country. People are doing things. They are not fighting the right crime. But politically, they will embarrass people. They will lock up people. They will suffocate people based on political interests. So we don't have a fair.
No, recently
we don't have a fair police
recently
in the country. We should revamp from the IGP or whoever. People should be revamped from their positions. They should recruit a police department that has sanity, that has a right mind, and that can operate fairly. You are not a police because of a government or a political leader, a political party. You are a police because of the Gambian people. You are serving and protecting the interests and lives of the Gambians. So this police system is garbage. Police system should be revamped, because they have been doing so many things That is not fighting crimes. They are fighting people. They are fighting political parties. They are fighting political interests.
Uh,
So I think this is the right message that should get into their heads, so they know. Yeah, but go ahead.
Indeed, it was a very unfortunate scene, a very ugly one, which doesn't tell well in our democracy. And I believe that the voices that have already spoken will be listened to, and at the end of the day, they will move forward by at least trying to adjust. Because at the end of the day, you don't want what's happened in the past, to take place again. And the signs, some of the signs are already there. Looking at what happened to NATO Alliance, but we believe that I will not come and openly, go openly call maybe for the change of leadership, blah blah. But one thing that I can say fervently is that it was
People, if
very
people are not doing
embarrassing,
their
and
jobs,
it should. Sorry,
if people are not doing their
sorry,
jobs,
sorry.
what should
Huh?
they?
No,
They should
no.
be replaced.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
That's
In this
all.
case,
Why
in this
Gambian
case,
people are having issue with that? Replace people who are not
yes,
doing their job.
no,
You put from top to bottom.
no, no, no. Do you know why? Because in this case, in this case, in this case, nobody support them on this. Nobody support them. There are other things that they do, and we need to recommend them for. But in this case, I am fully in support of you. What they did was not right, and there is no genuine Gambian that
You're not
support them.
supporting me. You're supporting the truth. Talking
No,
the
I'm
truth.
supporting your statement because we share the same view on this. That is what they did was wrong. It should have never happened. No to alien, they are Gambian. They should be protected like how everybody is protected, irrespective of the political party that you belong to or the religion that you come from. They should be protected equally. You don't want a police service that will only be there to protect the ruling party or parties that are in the government. And when the oppositions are going to be punished in justice, nobody is going to support that. So this is my point. What happened to them? Honestly, I condemn it. It should have never happened. It is wrong.
Okay. All right. So moving forward, so this is what we have for the Northern Alliance class with the PIU. Again, it's unfortunate. We should make sure that people have their constitutional rights, especially when they have permits. And if their permits are revoked, you gotta let them know before they even start that meeting or that dinner or that fundraising, and give them reasons why. Don't be undermining things based on somebody's liking or disliking. So that is not the way the country operates. So I hope our leaderships and people who are the stakeholders in this will learn from these mistakes, and then we move forward as a nation, because everybody's life is important. Every party has the mandate, as long as they are formed or any group that is established, they have the mandate to exercise their constitutional right. So I think that's about it. Do you have anything to talk about this topic further?
No, I believe every important point has already been talked about, and we made it very clear. And I believe anyone who is joining us or anyone who has already joined us indeed will be convinced with this analysis in order to call for justice, to call for a more resounding actions from the police, and to call for inclusiveness in their job. So I believe we did justice to it.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, the second area that we want to talk about is the president's book signing, the book that was wrote on his biography. So some people see this as an inspiration by having to details president's life, as a village boy and to become a president, an inspiration story to others, especially for the younger people. Um, I just, there are conflicting, viewpoints. So we just want to look at both sides, or any other from any other angle, and analyze it, because we haven't read the book. I personally didn't even have the synopsis of the book, so I cannot make out one thing, but it says what I heard is a biographic of president's life since as a
Mm.
boy. growing up in the village. Yeah. So if you have anything on that, can you just elaborate on that? And then if I have any question, I can ask.
Yes, it is a very good step, which I commended not only for the president to, who has already done it, but we are also encouraging all our political figures, influential individuals, to share their story. Because at the end of the day, President Barrow sharing his story, it is very inspiring to me, especially for the younger generation. Because at the end of the day, he is mounting the most important position in this country, that is the presidency. So that's why I applaud him, for sharing his story. Because many along the way, because of the poor family that they came from, they tend to see it as disadvantage in achieving their dreams. And, seeing somebody who struggles, from a very poor family, things were hard and things were very tough. One man who traveled to UK, being a security, coming back to Gambia, going from house to house, collecting rent, quarreling, push and pull with the tenants. At the end of the day, the same person now happens to be the president. It becomes very inspiring. It's just like a movie, And we believe others also have similar story that they should also share. But I believe he is now occupying the Oval Office, and he has an obligation to make sure that at least he will create a more enabling environment to allow others also to come up with their own stories. Because recently, I think one of the challenges when it comes to especially, the those that involve in writing, it has to do with, publishing their book when the time is due. And, the president, since he has already has the interest, maybe to write about his story, we have others also who have written in other different areas. And it is also very right as the president to, take up the challenge to see how best he can help them with that. Because the culture of reading is dying. And, we need those, especially young writers, who venture into this and they want to make life out of this, but they are finding it very difficult. So how can the president, through the book that he has written, how can he also create the enabling environment to make sure that writers at this, they will have the necessary support in order to have more Gambians that will come up with these writings. But basically, it is inspiring, but being also the president, the book also should match his actions. Because at the end of the day, it's not only about the poor boy, that suffered along the way, now become the president. After becoming the president, how did the poor boy behave? So that too also should be looked at, because we believe that the same humbleness, the same attitude, the same respect, the same self-discipline that was with the poor boy should be the same self-discipline, respect that should be also with the president. Because where you start is important, but where you are and where you are going to also is very important, because many of them, they will look at you now as the president. And what they will be trying to compare is the poor boy that was in charge in Mankamakunda, now becoming the president. How is he behaving now? Because I believe those comparisons also tells a lot about, how a poor boy behaves, or the change of attitude that is expected maybe from a poor boy and now from somebody who is something in his or her own country. So I think that too should be well considered. But the book is a very good one, sharing your life. We believe we also have others who should also, try and do the same, because people need to be inspired. People, need to read and understand. People need to read and know that, the only thing that they should be very equipped with is faith, and to make sure that they will be working very hard in order to achieve their dreams. But to sum it up, it is a very good one and a very inspiring one, especially for the younger generation.
Very good, very good. Did you get a chance to read at least the synopsis of the book or some part of the book?
It's unfortunate. Even I think we are in the same position. I am yet to, read the synopsis of the book, for example. I am also yet to read the book, but I'm doing my level best because I already made my contact and they promised me to get a copy. So because I love to read, especially anything that comes, from the president, because
how
he
much?
is there and we are working towards, you know.
How much is the book sold? How much is the book selling for?
No, actually, I don't know the price because I was promised to be given the book for free.
Do you think, the book should be given for free or at a very lower cost so that everybody has the opportunity to read?
No. I don't even believe the book should be sold. I believe the book should be at this giving out. Yes, the book should be given out for free because he has, the president will secure all the necessary funds that he wants in order for this book to reach everywhere. So I believe at least let him try and give the book out, especially to the younger generation, because most of them, they are battling even with some of the school material. So if you have a story that you want to share, and at the end of the day, you attach a price to it.
Do you think Gambian people, do you think vast majority of the Gambian people will be interested to read based on the president's popularity, the president popularity level, I mean, in the country?
Actually, I don't know. Actually, maybe to some, because my political belief and his political belief is different. We don't believe in the same thing as far as politics is concerned. But here, I am not looking at it at that side, and it's possible maybe the masses, they will see it in that area, which it's left to them, because everybody, you have the right to but as far as I'm concerned, I believe that because I already requested for it in order to read, because you must know the person that you are dealing with.
Why do you think the president? Why now? Why can't he wait until after presidency? Why now? Or why can't he write?
No.
Why can't he write his biography? Or why now? Or why not before? Why now?
Why not now?
Yeah.
Why not now?
I'm asking you. There's all this possibility. You can wait until he finishes. At that time, there is nothing to be worried about. Whether his action will be judged by, like the advice you give him. Make sure his actions is judged, because after presidency, that time he already did his term. So his action, of course, we're gonna know whether it's judged or not at that time. Why now? Why is it? Is it the timing of this?
I don't have problem with the time. Indeed, I don't have problem with the time, because being a president, or somebody who has a very rough start, sharing your biography, I don't see anything that has to do with this the right time, this not the right time. As far as I'm concerned, it is important. Even when he was in office for the first time or for the first term, yeah, he could have done it. So as far as I'm concerned, anything that is inspiring, anything that is helping, anything that is guiding, anything that is making our younger generation to believe more in what they do, irrespective of where they come from, it doesn't have time. So at any time, I am okay with it.
Some people are also saying that maybe this is geared towards children. Do you think this book is purposely aimed, the audience is for the children or for the adults?
No, I believe it can serve as more especially, I know it's going to target the future generation, maybe from age from the age of 18, 19 up to the age, even the older generation, because we still now have something, because Mr. President became president at the age of 50 years, 50 something, if I'm right. Sorry, 40 something, because I think he celebrated is it 59 birthday. So that means he became president at the age of 50. So we also have others who are at the 40s, 30s, and still now, they need to push harder. Still now, they need to be inspired, to go for what they want. So I believe it is a book that, to be frank, it has more to do with the younger generation. But even, those at 40s, 50s, the book also can serve as an inspiration for them, because he did not become the president, or he did not become the president at the age of 20s or 30s. But that is at the
did Jammeh wrote a book? Did we have a book on Jammeh?
Jammeh, actually, I cannot give yes to that.
Okay.
It's possible it might be.
So the reason why I'm asking you, the reason why I'm asking you for the timing We didn't hear any book of Jammeh.
Yes.
The kind of time that Jammeh spent in power, Barrow most likely would not. And what Jammeh did, Barrow most likely would not. Um, we got Jawara's book after Jawara's presidency. So there's a reason why I'm asking why President Barrow is doing it now. There's a reason for it. Maybe you and I couldn't tell. Maybe he doesn't want anybody to speak to tell his story.
No, as far as
He want to tell his story by
yes,
himself while in power, so that he can build up a legacy that can be known before even leaving the power. Or maybe he's uncertain of about his future leadership in power. So because Jammeh hasn't, in as much as Jammeh like to promote himself, in as much as Jammeh is more about himself, I haven't read anything about President Jammeh. Okay, I haven't. Jawara's one is only after Jawara left power. Long after that, then that Jawara, so people can know his story.
yes,
Barrow is in this middle of the seat and writing his story.
yes.
Not even prior, but with right in the middle of the story. So all these things has a meaning. Maybe you and I might not know, but only him and God and whoever advises him. So what I'm trying to say to him that he has done it differently, which I'm commending him as a leader of the country for having to have such a story, because definitely from the we all and you are, I don't know whether you are a village boy also, but I was a village boy too. So we all have a story, and then the way we went
Okay.
about in life to to get to higher places in life that we never expected, to go through all that hurdles. So like you said, maybe he should also use this opportunity to open doors for others, for other people who are in a similar situation. We have many village boys who are so very successful. Maybe they might not be presidents, but they probably they have made history in different ways of and shape and forms.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I agree.
And they are doing very well
Yeah,
in other sectors.
yeah, I agree. You saying that the avenues should be open to others too. I don't know how. Maybe most people might not have the finances, or most people might not have the know-how. So maybe that's what you're talking about. But there are many people out there who have inspiring stories. So I commended him as the president for having to take that step to talk about his life, because of the twists and turns that went through his life, coming from the village, going to the highest height in office. All those are commendable. But my only thing is, it seems like this meant something to him to do it at this time while in the office. That's the only difference here. And that might be, again, you and I might not know the answer to that. Only him and God
Yes.
will know that. But I'm just saying, I'm just bringing that out so you know his is different. Yeah. And then the audience part also I brought about is because I saw the cover of the book is a cartoon picture of, I don't know, of him or
Yes, yes, yes.
somebody or whatever. So
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
just wanted to
Yes,
understand,
it is a cartoon.
is this to attract younger people? Because cartoon, obviously, elders, I'm not saying they don't watch cartoons, but of course, he could have put in his
It's more popular among the young age.
yeah, okay. He could have put in his own picture if it's his biography. I mean, people do that, or no picture at all. So all those little things might not be something that people might notice, but as a writer myself, I know those. But at the end of the day, if it is aimed to inspire people, then it will fulfill that role to inspire people. The only thing, I don't know how many people
Yeah.
read that book, since Gambians don't read. So welcome to the world of Gambians not reading much. Because as an author who wrote Dangerous Love, I know how much I struggle for Gambians to read some stories, that fictional story that I wrote 10 years ago. So good luck to him. If people will lift that book from the self, even if it is
Well,
free, even if it
thank
is
you.
free, Gambian people has find it hard to read. They rather go to movies or go to shows every Saturday. There's somebody launching an album. They rather go to that, or they rather go to Kuliol or Fudusitol or all those things than to pick up a book. Especially, I don't know how many pages of book is that. So good luck to him for his story to be heard or be read and entertained by the general public. Yeah. And if he did it to gain popularity, hey, like you said, action speaks louder than words.
Words, yes.
So, Mr. President, if you're doing this to gain popularity, you better start doing it in action, because that's what is going to speak. You know, and I'm not your advisor, Mr. President, so I'm not gonna tell you what are the ways to be popular. You use your advisors to come up with that. But if you're doing it for popularity, yeah, people will hear your story. Yeah. But many people will have that similar stories. Thousands of Gambians have that similar stories. So yeah, so I mean, they might not be president, but they are close. I mean, they have also achieved a lot in life. So what I'm trying to say here is that kudos to the president for writing such a biography about himself. And like you said, you know, his action, it all comes down to what he put in that book and how that match with the action in office moving forward or in the from the past. Yeah, that's what I want to add to the discussion.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so if you have anything to say, we are almost at the top of the hour on this program, and it's two of us. The co-hosts they couldn't make it, but you know, if you have something to say, you know, before we final words before we pass. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe everything that is to be said has already been said. Besides, thanking you so much for according me the opportunity so that at least I can be featured in this platform. It was a very interesting conversation indeed, and I believe I have met your expectations in this program. Besides the two sensitive issues that we discussed, I believe these are issues which are very important because I always I always encourage discussions, because at the end of the day our problems can only be solved in that way. So that's why I am always ready to to share my view or my opinion with people, and also always ready to welcome also their opinion and views, because that's how the country can be built, that's how the country can be developed. Because at the end of the day, irrespective of who is there, one day or the other he has to leave and another body and another one has to come in. So that's why let us focus on collectively what we can do in order to change the dynamics in this country, because I know the country is facing a lot of challenges. But at the end of the day, we all have our role to play. And I believe we are on it as a party. And that's why we are complementing government efforts, by doing a lot in this country before becoming as government, or as or having our party leader as as the next president in 2026. We are very hopeful, because we are working tirelessly on that. So on that note, Mr. Sawaneh, I am so much happy to share this platform with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Again, keep up the good work, Ebriman Nyang, young fellow. We need to bring more young people to this platform to express their ideas and opinions. Again, we are open to all that, discussions here. We are if you are guided by the truth, you will not have any fear or favor. You will be impartial, and you will definitely, speak truth to the power. And that's what we do here. We are not affiliated with any political parties. We're just here to sensitize our citizens and have a fruitful discussion, comments, and so forth. That's what our media is all about. So share this information, share this shows, I mean, so that people can benefit. We are not an expert, subject expert in everything, but we just use our analytic skills and the information we have at hand. And that's what we deal with. We don't come here to criticize, but however, we are critical with everything and we ask questions to get to answers. So when we bring you here, we expect that, you will stand up to our questions to the best of your ability, which you did, and many, many other matters. So I hope I didn't,
Thank you so
create
much.
any moment of, you know, any
No,
moment
no,
that
no.
you
You are
are
good to
too
go.
uncomfortable or so during this dialogue. But
You are good to go. And it was a very big pleasure, and I enjoyed the conversation.
very
I
good.
love insightful thoughts.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
a
you. And
very
extend.
excellent one.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Extend.
keep up the good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, our viewers. And we
Thank you.
definitely will be back with you next week to have more discussion on the issues. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Praise
Thank
God.
you.